All right, let's talk about one of the most captivating elements we've ever known, gold. Its story is just incredible. I mean, it starts billions of years ago, quadrillions of miles away, and it literally ends right here, maybe even in the palm of your hand.
So, what's the connection? Well, you probably guessed it. It's gold. It's kind of mind-blowing, right? This one element ties together the cosmic, the ancient, and the ultra-modern. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to dive into exactly how it does that, from its birth in space to its treasured place in history, and why we absolutely need it for our tech today.
Okay, so our journey, it doesn't start in a mine or even deep inside the earth. Nope. To find the origin of gold, we have to look to the most violent, most energetic events the entire universe has to offer.
I want you to just let that sink in for a second. Gold cannot be created on Earth, period. That means every single atom of gold on this entire planet is, well, it's an alien. It's a visitor from outer space. Why? Because the conditions you need to forge something as heavy as gold are so incredibly extreme that just don't exist here. Not even close.
So if not on Earth, then where? Well, it's made through just unimaginable cosmic violence. Picture this, a massive star, way bigger than our sun, runs out of fuel. It collapses on itself, and then, bam, it explodes in a supernova. In that tiny fraction of a second, the energy is so intense it kicks off something called the Rapid Neutron Capture Process, or the R process. That's it. That's basically the universe's only recipe for making heavy stuff like gold. And then all that brand new gold dust gets blasted across space, seeding the clouds that eventually form new stars and new planets, including ours.
So after traveling all that way, arriving here on asteroids billions of years ago, you'd think there'd be a lot of it, right? Wrong. This number you see, 0.0004, that's how much gold there is in the Earth's crust in parts per million. I mean, that's just an impossibly tiny fraction. And that scarcity is exactly why, from the moment we first saw it glittering in a riverbed, we became obsessed.
So, gold's cosmic journey to Earth? That was really just Act 1. The real story kicks off the moment we humans first laid eyes on this weird, shiny yellow metal. Right then, an obsession was born. An obsession that would go on to define entire empires, fuel conquests, and totally shape cultures all over the planet.
And what's really fascinating to me is that this love for gold, it popped up independently all over the world. It wasn't one culture teaching another. I mean, look at Egypt. It was considered divine, something for the pharaohs in the afterlife. Then you have Mesopotamia, one of the first places to use it as actual money. Fast forward to India, where it became, and still is, a huge part of weddings and religious ceremonies, a symbol of purity. And then way over in the Americas, for people like the Incas and Aztecs, gold wasn't for spending. No, it was spiritual. They called it the sweat of the sun.
The flesh of the gods. I mean, that quote from the ancient Egyptians just says it all, doesn't it? For them, gold was so much more than just a pretty metal. Think about it. It never rusts, it never tarnishes, it's permanent. That made it the perfect symbol for everything they held sacred. Eternity, the divine, the afterlife. It was literally the physical form of their sun god, Ra, here on Earth.
Okay, let's fast forward a few thousand years because here's the really cool part. The very same things that made gold seem magical to our ancestors, those are the exact same properties that make it absolutely critical for our modern world.
So what are these superpowers? Well, it's got this totally unique toolkit. First, it's chemically inert, meaning it doesn't rust or tarnish, ever. It's also an amazing conductor of electricity. It's incredibly malleable. You can stretch a single ounce of it into a wire miles long. Plus, it's biocompatible, which means our bodies don't see it as a threat. And finally, it reflects heat and light like nobody's business. And these aren't just cool party tricks. They are the whole reason we can't live without it today.
And you can see how these superpowers translate directly into our lives. That conductivity and resistance to corrosion, that's why there are tiny gold connectors inside the phone or computer you're using right this second. Its biocompatibility, that's why it's been used in dentistry for ages and now in cutting-edge medicine, like delivering drugs to cancer cells. And its reflectivity, this one is my favorite. It's why astronaut visors are coated in a thin layer of gold to protect their eyes, and why the incredible mirrors on the James Webb Telescope are gold-plated, so they can capture the faintest light from the very beginning of the universe. Just amazing.
All right, so beyond all its physical uses, gold plays another absolutely massive role in our world. It's a global financial asset. But what actually decides what it's worth on any given day? What drives that price up and down?
Well, its price is really this complex dance between a bunch of different sources of demand. The biggest piece of the pie, by far, is still jewelry. After that, you've got investors, people buying physical bars and coins or investing in gold funds. Then you have the world's central banks, who hold huge reserves of gold. And finally, there's that steady demand from the tech and industrial sectors that we were just talking about.
One of the most important things to get is gold's relationship with the US dollar. They're kind of like on a seesaw. Since gold is priced in dollars all around the world, when the dollar gets stronger, you need fewer of them to buy an ounce of gold, so its price tends to go down. But when the dollar gets weaker, the price of gold often goes up. It's a key dynamic to watch.
And of course, it's not just the dollar. A bunch of other things are in the mix too. You've got interest rates, how much gold is actually being mined, and this is a big one, geopolitical uncertainty. Whenever there's a crisis or people get scared about the economy, they often rush to gold. It's seen as a safe haven asset, a reliable place to park your money when everything else feels risky.
So, after thousands of years of mining, of searching, of fighting over it, how much gold have we actually found? Well, the best estimate for all the gold ever mined in human history is right around 201,000 metric tons. Now that sounds like a huge number, right? But let's try to put that into perspective.
This, right here, is what really shows you how rare gold is. If you took every single piece of gold ever mined, every ring, every coin, every bar in every bank vault, every tiny flake in every computer chip, and melted it all down, it would fit into a single cube just over 21 meters on each side. I mean, that entire cube could sit comfortably inside a baseball diamond. When you think about how much this one element has shaped our history and our technology, that is just a remarkably small amount.
So think about that journey, from the fire of an exploding star to a pharaoh's tomb, from an ancient temple to the circuits of a spaceship. Gold's story is completely tangled up with our own. And since we know it's a truly finite resource, something born in the stars that we can't make more of, it really makes you wonder, what's the next chapter in this incredible story going to be?